The SHSU Department of Victim Studies and Crime Victim Services Alliance hung up jeans on a clothesline for National Denim Day on Wednesday, April 26th. The event was set up in the LSC courtyard to educate and raise awareness about sexual assault.
It's basically to show that it doesn't matter what you're wearing. It's not your fault wearing, you didn't ask for it.
Many have asked the question, why denim? SHSU student Sarah Martin answers sharing the origin of the national event.
There was a court case that got dismissed because a girl was wearing too tight of jeans. And so they said that she had to consent to be able to get her pants off because they were so tight. And so they dismissed her court case. And so it's just in support of women who got dismissed for what they were wearing.
Denim Day called for action to the Bearkat community to come together wearing denim jeans as a visible sign of support against sexual assault.
Basically, we come up with putting up these jeans on a clothesline to kind of signify victims, let their voice be known. And as you go around to every jean, there's a different story on every single one. So we like to just hang up those jeans, allow victims to have their voice and allow them to be heard.
The CVSA created the Denim Day display for students, faculty, and staff to share and show support for sexual assault and rape survivors.
I'm really hoping that it does make an impact at the school and hopefully that victims are able to have their voice heard by many students here.
From the campus of Sam Houston State University, Taleigha Harrell, Bearkat Student Media. Students stood in line outside of the Baptist Student Ministry for free lunch. The BSM gives lunch every Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. BSM coordinator Megan Allen shares her thoughts about the organization.
I joined BSM a couple reasons. One, my older sister was a part of BSM whenever I was a freshman, and so I knew a lot about it and saw her grow a lot spiritually because of that. And two, my very first night there with my small group connected really well to the girls and guys in that group, and so just kept coming back and learning and growing.
When I asked Allen why she decided to commit to student ministry,
this is not something that I thought that I would be doing or that I ever intended to pursue. I studied sport management, and so I always thought I'd get a cool sports job and go to Dallas or somewhere and work for a sporting team. And the more I pursued that, the more I felt like doors were closing and there just wasn't a lot of peace in that.
BSM Director Chris Smith says this organization serves the SHSU community more than any other organization on campus.
Free lunch has been actually going on for decades. I was actually just talking to some ladies that were they've been serving free lunch for over 25 years, so way before me. And so what it is just a tangible way to meet physical needs of students in a way that they can be blessed and say, somebody cares about me, somebody's thinking about me, somebody's willing to serve me and give me something extra. BSM's goal is for us is to be a blessing to our campus, to serve our campus, and hopefully to be able to get the chance to share why we do that for the love of Christ, that God loves us and we want to love others.
To find out more about how you can join or get information about the Baptist Student Ministry, just email bearkatbsm@gmail.com. From the campus of Sam Houston State University, Taleigha Harrell, Bearkat Student Media. The student-led Diversity Leadership Conference featured various workshops and keynote speakers throughout the event. The Diversity Student Council set up the Orange Ballroom as an interactive exhibit called The Blind Spot. Participants were shown topics on anxiety, addiction, Eurocentric beauty standards, inhumane prison conditions, and slavery. Javon Gordon presented his workshop session, Trapping in the Quad, during a lecture-style presentation which dealt with social injustice and student leadership.
No, diversity is a thought. Diversity starts with individual person that wants to include other people's thoughts within their lifestyle, because how a person thinks is how they'll live. And when a person thinks with inclusion, they'll think with diversity and they'll live in a diverse space.
Imani Barbarin is a Black and disabled disability rights and inclusion activist. Barbarin closes the event in a speech sharing her stories and thoughts on inclusion and diversity within the disabled community. Students asked questions during the Q&A segment toward the end of Barbarin's speech.
What are some things you would say are paramount at an institution of higher education for those with disabilities and accessibility on campus?
about, disability inclusion and, asking students for what they want is the follow-up.
Students and participants gathered outside of the Orange Ballroom for a meet and greet and to take pictures after the event. From the campus of Sam Houston State University, Taleigha Harrell, Bearkat Student Media. Student volunteers from organizations at SHSU joined the Student Government Association for the Community Service Day event, Bearkat All Paws In.
So what we really targeted is, it's a university-wide service day. So we have maybe 10 different orgs around the campus that's volunteering to help out the community. So we're all going to go to different locations and we're going to help them out for the day in any way they might need.
Sam Houston State University's motto is, "The measure of life is its service," and so volunteering is a staple of the university's culture.
I'm a part of NABA, National Association for Black Accountants, and we do community service all the time, and this is one of the community service events that we decided to come to.
On this day, more than half of the volunteers were students, and the rest were community members. Volunteers received pink shirts, vests, tote bags, and breakfast before relocating.
Bearkat All Paws In is actually an annual event, so it happens every year. But since COVID, Student Government Association have really been struggling to get people, or a good amount of people, to be involved. Like last year, I think maybe we had 50 people involved, and this year we have 150 people involved.
University Affairs Director Jacelyn Daniels says the SGA will continue giving to the community.
This is an annual thing. We call it Baptmas because it happens once a year. Every year it's supposed to happen.
Volunteers huddled in the LSE courtyard to hear what sites they were assigned to. The volunteers carpooled to several different churches, organizations, community centers, the Boys and Girls Club, and the fire department. From the campus of Sam Houston State University, Taleigha Harrell, Bearkat Student Media.
You got cleats? You got cleats? Yeah. My name is Richard Harrell. I go to Grambling State University, and I'm from North Carolina. I'm a sophomore majoring in leisure studies with a concentration in recreation therapy. With my major, I'm hoping to open up a recreational facility in a community so people can come to and just enjoy their leisure time. For students that want to pursue college football, I'd say focus on your grades and just be consistent and working on your craft, because when you get to the next level, your craft is important. So just make sure you're doing your drills and staying consistent, because when you get to college, they expect you to know all that stuff. When you get there, they don't really want to, they're gonna coach you up, but they want you to be on your stuff.
I'm Taleigha Harrell. Welcome to Bearkat Student Media News. When most people commute to the SHSU campus, they have to worry about traffic on I-45 or finding a parking place once they arrive. Recently, however, some students have expressed concern when exiting the main Zone 2 parking lot on Bearkat Boulevard. The 19th Annual Diversity and Leadership Conference took place Saturday in the Lohman Student Center. Students wrote thank you cards to university donors for student workers to collect. The first 250 students to write their letters received t-shirts sporting a Giving is Groovy design. The remaining students weren't forgotten, but received smaller freebies.
You're watching Bearkat Student Media News, a production of the Mass Communications Department at Sam Houston State University, only right here on Channel 7.
An exhibition is on display at the University Gallery located in the Dana G. Hoyt Fine Arts Building. The Scarcity and Abundance exhibition includes curated works with the theme of identity. The exhibition is free, open to the public, and will be on display through March 4th. The intramural sports program has once again hosted the chance for bowlers of Sam Houston State to compete against one another to qualify in the final tournament. The first tournament of the Bowling League took place on January 26th in the Cat Club, and the last tournament was held February 23rd. The final tournament takes place March 9th. That'll do it for us this week at Bearkat Student Media News. I'm Taleigha Harrell. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Taleigha Harrell. Governor Greg Abbott's office recently sent a memo to state agencies and public universities saying they must stop a certain hiring practice. Bearkat Student Media's Fatima Maldonado scoured the publicly available annual salaries report and has more. The sky's the limit for opportunities here at SHSU. Bearkat Student Media's Macy McShann has the story. Find out how many times EMS responded to an emergency on-campus call last year.
You're watching Bearkat Student Media News, a production of the Mass Communications Department at Sam Houston State University, only right here on Channel 7.
The First Generation Center welcomes back students returning from spring break with free food and stress-free activities. Last Tuesday, the First Gen Center hosted the event Study with First Gen and the LSC. Free pizza was offered for students who came to study or enjoy the activities. The room was split in half for students to engage in activities such as crossword puzzles and coloring.
The other side of the room, called library hours, had tutors to help students who may be struggling with subjects like math, writing, and science. The purpose of the event was for students who needed the extra push to finish the semester strong after feeling spring break fatigue.
Bingo, but with a musical twist. The SHSU Program Council hosted Singo Bingo Night in the LSC Orange Ballroom recently. Organizers invited students to play free bingo, eat popcorn, and win various prizes.
Students had to show their IDs to take part in the event. When a player matched a song playing over the speakers onto their Singo card, they won a prize. The event allowed students to de-stress in the middle of a hectic semester.
I like playing bingo, but I never win. But I also play for the St. Houston Club volleyball team.
What made you decide to come to bingo tonight?
Actually, to take a break from studying. I have an anatomy test tomorrow.
Have you won any prizes yet tonight?
Yes.
Really?
I won the pool float. I think it's a koala bear. I don't really know.
Many say Singo Bingo was a fun night for students. The next bingo night will be held in the same location on Wednesday, April 5th, from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. They hit their last note, and now we have a winner. The finale of Battle of the Bands headlined Tuesday night in the Orange Ballroom of the LSC. Bands competed head-to-head for the chance to win big. And I'm Taleigha Harrell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here next week. People were out protesting the execution of death row inmate Jedediah Murphy in downtown Huntsville recently. As Huntsville's population continues to go up, so does the issue of traffic and safety. Bearkat Student Media's Bailey Ware has more. Sam Houston State students partied in honor of World Teachers Day. Last week, auditions for the announcer and MC positions for the Miss Sam Houston pageant were held in the LSC's Orange Ballroom.
You're watching Bearkat Student Media News, a production of the Mass Communications Department at Sam Houston State University, only right here on Channel 7.
With a spirit as wild as the West itself, Lucas Myers shared his story with my co-anchor Hunter King about his journey to the Junior Roughstock World Finals. Thank you, Thomas. A new exhibit began last Friday at the Katie and E. Don Walker Senior Education Center. The theme, all about hats. Hats Off to Sam displays the various pieces of headwear worn by Sam Houston. The display celebrates the careers of Sam Houston through the hats he wore. Bearkat Student Media's Christian Wilcox takes us on a stroll to see some of the spooky sights. Bearkat Student Media's Nicholas Pola breaks down some of the numbers. That'll do it for us this week at Bearkat Student Media News. I'm Taleigha Harrell, and it'll be a mixed bag weather-wise this weekend. I'm forecaster Taleigha Harrell, and we'll let you know if you need to break out the umbrella in the next few days. Good afternoon, Huntsville and Sam Houston State University students. I'm Taleigha Harrell with your local forecast. Today, the humidity is at 41%, winds at 7 miles an hour, with the feels like temperature at 66. Around the region, Centerville is at 66 degrees, College Station is a tick higher at 67, Groveton is now at 66 degrees, Livingston checks in at 67, Conroe also 67, and finally, Hardin checks in at 66. Statewide, El Paso is seeing a temperature of 67 degrees with sunny skies. In Lubbock, it's 68, while Dallas checks in at 66 degrees. San Antonio is a mild 65 degrees, and in Brownsville, it's a warmer 74. Around the nation, it's a chilly 37 degrees in New York, 43 in Chicago, and 75 down in Miami. Denver checks in at 50 degrees. Lastly, in LA, it's a cool 62 degrees. For tomorrow, we'll wake up to a temperature of 51 degrees in Huntsville. Sunrise will be at 7:03 a.m. with partly cloudy skies. Winds from the south at 3 miles an hour. Humidity will be at 0%. The 5-day forecast in Huntsville tomorrow. The high is 73 with a low of 59. Friday has a high of 67 with a low of 46 and a 42% chance of rain. Saturday, a high of 50. Sunday, 60 and sunny. And Monday has a high of 70 with a low of 52. That's it from the Bearkat Weather Center. I'm Taleigha Harrell. Have a great rest of your week. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Taleigha Harrell. A new art exhibit is being featured on campus. Bearkat Student Media's Karina Renteria takes us on a tour of the works on display there. A new monument has replaced the I-45 Sam Houston statue as the tallest in Huntsville.
You're watching Bearkat Student Media News, a production of the Mass Communications Department at Sam Houston State University, only right here on Channel 7.
For more than 80 years, Fort Hood in Texas has stood in America's defense. 'Tis the season for giving, and that includes the university's canned food drive for the 102nd annual Tree of Light ceremony. Get ready for a wild ride with Bearkat Student Media's Thomas Chambers as he tells the story of SHSU's rodeo team finalist. Thank you, Enrique. Earlier this week, artistic students took to the Cat Club stage to present their feelings poetically. The Common Reader Poetry Slam challenged students to present poetry based on the Common Reader book, The Anthropocene Reviewed, and translate those themes into poetry. These ranged from introspection on their own writing to lamenting about a lost strawberry Pop-Tart. But not everyone's happy about the practice. Bearkat Student Media's Keziah Frederick takes a look at the controversial exercise, how it started, and if it will ever go away in the United States. That'll do it for us this week and this semester at Bearkat Student Media News. I'm Taleigha Harrell, and we'll see clouds the rest of the week, followed by a good chance of rain on Sunday and Monday. We'll have your full weather picture coming up after the break. Good afternoon, Huntsville and Sam Houston State University students. Here's your local forecast. It's 71 degrees in Huntsville with sunny skies throughout the day. The humidity is at 83%, winds at 6 miles an hour with a temperature that feels like 69. Around the region, Centerville is at 73 degrees, College Station comes in at 75. Groveton is now at 71 degrees. Livingston checks in at 71 as well. Conroe 72. And finally, Hardin also checks in at 72. Statewide, El Paso is seeing a temperature of 72 degrees with cloudy skies. In Lubbock, 66, while Dallas checks in at 72. San Antonio is a warm 76 degrees, and in Brownsville is 77 degrees. Around the nation, it's 54 degrees in New York, 64 in Chicago, and 77 down in Miami. Denver is nice, 68 degrees. Lastly, in LA, it's 67 degrees. For tomorrow, we'll wake up to a temperature of 53 degrees in Huntsville. Sunrise will be at 6:48 a.m. with partly cloudy skies. Winds from the north-northeast at 3 miles an hour. Humidity will be a high 97%. The 5-day forecast in Huntsville tomorrow, the high is 73 with the low of 56. Friday has a high of 77 with the low of 57. Saturday a high of 74, Sunday 72 and cloudy with a chance of rain. And Monday has a high of 74 with a low of 49 and a 66% chance of rain. That's it from the Bearkat Student Media Weather Center. Have a great rest of your week. And I'm Taleigha Harrell. Welcome to Bearkat Student Media News. Well, thank you, Jalen, and congratulations to Coach Mudge.
Yeah, that's quite a way to start your first season as head coach.
Yeah.
So
Bearkat Student Media's Bryce Berry tells us they're now talking about parking hours and the Park mobile app. Bearkat Student Media's Kayla Ols took to the campus to hear how students feel about the twice yearly changing of clocks.
You're watching Bearkat Student Media News, a production of the Mass Communications Department at Sam Houston State University, only right here on Channel 7.
And I'm Taleigha Harrell. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks.